Hello everyone, welcome back to a Born Again original. This time it's going to be on the exact same topic I did last week because this channel is it kind of specializes in XXXTentacion, so every time I see something that brings more point of view to light, like especially from an occultist perspective, because I'm not an occultist, I'm a Christian, and I don't get initiated in these things, but I do have a hunger to expose them and to tell other people about them, right? Because there's a lot of people who are fans of XXXTentacion, me included. I was a massive fan of his. So last time we found these threads by the Hidden America. And he had a bunch of interesting things to say, a lot of confirmation from what I said in my videos as well. But he actually added a lot more onto it because he has a different background than me, so he's going to know a lot more different things. And I really appreciate this stuff, and honestly, I hope he appreciates me going over these videos and putting them out because I'm not trying to steal his content or anything. I'm just trying to more so archive this stuff for my viewers who want to learn the stuff from a Christian perspective, and for myself because I I find this stuff fascinating. I find the how they put the occult right in your face fascinating. I find how they sew spells into everything just very, very interesting. So this gives me, if I'm able to make a video on it, I can go back and I can look at it, right? Before we get started too, I wanted to ask if the Hidden America, because I know he watched my last video, if he ends up watching this video, I wanted to ask him a question. I wanted to ask you, so when XXXTentacion, he gave, in the spell, it says I will give you all my demons. I'm just wondering what that means because I do not understand. Does it mean that he's going to be giving his troubles? Does it mean that he's going to be giving his powers, his energies? Please, if you can, just answer for that for me in the comments because I feel like if anybody's going to know, it's going to be you. Yeah. Anyway, so we're gonna go and we're gonna read these threads. There's at least two more, and also, just please check out his Patreon and please check out his YouTube channel and other stuff. He's commented on my posts. You know what? I'm not trying to steal his content or anything. I just find it really interesting. So I really feel like I have to give my perspective. So yeah, we'll get right into it. All right, so here we are on the Hidden America's Twitter thread. Like I said before, please go check him out. Check out his Patreon, check out his other things he has going on. He's more of a platform, so it's awesome that he's getting this information out. So this is part 3 of I Spoke to the Baphomet, the XXXTentacion story, Drake on I'm Upset, SMS Triple X, XXX meeting triple XXXTentacion. That's the only time I ever shoot with another neck. Why you keep on shooting if you know that dead? That's the only time of stuff that gets you some respect, right? You know, we don't know. We don't really go over that. I think it was more of a cover story, so Bruno wasn't really looked at much, or that he could lead people away from thinking that maybe he set himself up himself. All eyes to just mislead. And if you think about it, it's another form of manipulation. So maybe because their intention was to even get people to look at Drake, like they had Drake get called into the court office while they were doing XXXTentacion's trial. So there's a lot of power behind that, so very interesting. After Ja really was released from jail, he immediately took shots at Drake for stealing his flow, but it goes so much deeper. X posted a picture of Drake guzzling a glizzy, which is most likely, S and some D. and Insta deleted it after being threatened. Fake or not a good look. Then X tweets Drake's mom's dick. I remember this whole thing he went on about how he was going to have sex with Drake's mom, and that Drake's mom's kind of cute, that she can get it. That's the thing, though, when they're trying to promote these rappers and stuff, is that possibly because they're all in the same cult, that they said, oh, put his name in there, and we'll entertain it, right? We'll make it seem like you guys are actually beefing, or that he actually stole your flow, or any of these actual things. Because a lot of reality, it seems to be set up by these people. Like they don't believe we're as smart as they are, because they use magic against us. So they view themselves as above us, is what I'm trying to get at. So they're all on the same team. They're all on the same side, but they just play both sides. They play the light and the dark side. So even when rappers are beefing, it can usually be to promote sales or boost their popularity, is pretty much what I'm getting at, but it took me like 5 minutes to get there. The rumor is X found out about Drake's bastard child with a porn star. Obviously warned X to stay silent, and he didn't. He was the one who allegedly told Pusha T, which is fair, like, makes a lot of sense. Drake with the story I did edition. At that point, Drake was Teflon. I don't really understand that one, but fair enough, man. Drake was Teflon. X obviously didn't know who Pusha T was. Gonna ether Drake with the diss. The story I did don't. At that point, Drake was Teflon, but Drake was bodied by Pusha T, and maybe he hasn't been the same since. The track was released on May 29th, 2018. Sorry, 2000, whatever. Less than a month before X's death. I want to know, everyone is enjoying the circus, but I want to clarify that this image in question, this was not from the clothing brand or shoot from my music career. This picture's from 2007. That's from him blackfacing, I guess. It was believed the two rappers put their issues behind them, but Drake rapped on Look Alive that they won't be expecting it when they go to Slide, because I told them that we put that stuff behind us, but I lied. And we see, zoom in here. Oh, never mind. I can actually remove that. So we see the Middle English dragon, right? He's calling himself a dragon. From Proto-Rest and Latin Draco, dragon, obviously. Like Dirk. Little Dirk would call himself the dragon too, I guess, in that case. If you're looking at the Proto-Indo-European version of Dirk. Drake is a masculine given name of an English origin of the snake. And we see Moloch the owl, which is usually the symbol of a god they sacrifice children to, they sacrifice people to gain wisdom. That's why it represents wisdom. And that's why he chose it for the OVO logo. And if you watched my Drake video, he says in his lyrics, behind closed doors, there's a lot of six god worshipping. So that just gives a little indicator of what he's doing. So that's very interesting that he put this in here for us. So the head destroys the enemies, and fever, find hidden wealth, the heart, invisibility to overcome death, 5 feathers to hypnotize an enemy, beak, protect children from black magic and bad luck, to remove a ghost, to get a person transferred for the wings, owl's fat, a successful sea journey, a live sacrifice, to destroy a wealthy family, to find a lost person, to control someone. Lilith, yeah, translate to screech owl. Lilith is the mother of vampires, and is considered Adam's first wife, according to Jewish folklore. And Jewish folklore would be Kabbalah, Talmud. Also, there's not biblical, right? Like, That's just things they make up. You see at the bottom, the White House is the shape of a giant owl. So that's very interesting stuff. And we see them covering their eyes like an owl to represent wisdom from their god, Lucifer. We see Isis in the bottom left corner. I believe that's Isis. With the Freemasonry G. When you see the G, that means you are using inner energy. You know how to use the universe. That's why the G is represented by a Grandmaster Mason. From what I understand, it's just self-worship and just understanding how to control reality using the secret sciences of the universe, from what I understand. Must be mentioned 2022 Drake rapped on BS. Oh damn, maybe I should do a 20. Maybe I should break that 20, do a 10. Maybe I should break that 10, do a 5, and if he gets live, do a 5 again. If he held that tongue on that lie, then he'd be alive again. Again, fueling the rumors that Drake was involved in X's demise, almost gloating no less. During XXX's murder trial, he was set to be called as a witness, right? As I said earlier, the name Drake literally translates to serpent, dragon, or Satan. Yep, Drake, Dracula, energy vampire. I agree with you. Right. He's obviously into, like Drake would be into, the same stuff Aleister Crowley was into as well, which would be, bisexual sex magic. That's why he's all feminine and whatnot. He's taking that feminine energy and channeling it into his career. But I know nothing about that. I don't know how that works. So I'd rather keep it that way, that I don't know how that works. Now that we've covered the Drake angle, let's go down the rabbit hole. Drake's album was called Scorpion. It's important to note the Scorpion is associated with Scorpio, the only transformative sign in the zodiac. Scorpio rules the sexual organs, the Scorpion god. Very, very interesting. Some stuff that I would not catch on to, obviously, because I'm not someone who studies these ancient religions myself. So we see the phoenix, which is an allegory for the third eye and above heaven, transcendence. The eagle serpent is sexual essence. Scorpion seed, female bindu. I think the sexual essence part 2 is part of the G that is in the Freemasonry G, like part of controlling that sexual energy. Scorpio is a transformative sign. The 3 signs of the stages of the Scorpio are the eagle, serpent, and the phoenix. The 3 stages symbolize the 3 colors, stages of alchemy. Scorpio on the lowest aspect symbolizes animalistic desires, which would be like black magic or being in touch with their flesh. The squandered sex force, but in the highest aspect. The phoenix symbolizes the completion of sexual transmutation. Yep. So I feel like you know how X has those transmutation circles on his hands, like those tattoos, that he says they're from an anime, or people say they're from an anime. That's actually part of like this. Like I think that's actually very close to what he has tattooed on his hand. Or you know what? Actually, hold on. I think it's. Hold on. Maybe, you know what? We'll just look at his hand tattoo. What the heck am I even doing? So we see this is the thing he has tattooed on his hand. So if you look at it, it's actually a combination of all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Very interesting stuff. So X has a alchemy symbol on his hand. Like he's using his hands for alchemy. Like he has a symbol and he's getting energies from the symbol in his hand to perform magic. Cool. In the alchemical system, symbolism, the scorpion, which is the Egyptians symbolized as scarab beetle, representing the initiation into the lower mysteries, or into the mysteries, dweller of the underworld. The scarab beetle is the seed, is the cocoon, is the phoenix, is the butterfly. So the golden beetle would have been like one of the most, maybe it was one of the most heinous rituals you can go through. Maybe it was like the craziest thing you can go through. If you're at the bottom of the barrel, and we say XXXTENTACION, study the golden beetle, which we know to be alchemy, or Aleister Crowley's religion, Philema, to be magic in general. Like, you can give it any title, really. It's just, we know that he was studying the energies of the universe, and he was harnessing dark energy. He was using black magic. Near the end of his life, he was starting to go into white magic, but it was not to better humanity. It was to, so he could ascend into godhood, or possibly reincarnate, in my opinion. And you know, as Christians, we don't believe in reincarnation. We know there's one time, we have one chance on this earth. We know the only people who are reincarnating or living multiple lives are going to be demonic spirits, right? So the demonic spirit that was attached to X was making him believe that he was part of it. And who knows, man? Maybe we're seeing these people, these demonic spirits manifest in front of us as these people. I don't really like to go into that, because that's when you get into thinking about, like, get into like going crazy. So I don't tend to believe that, but it's just a thought. So we'll just look at these, right? So I don't know this stuff. So sexual magic, right? Keep going down. Scorpion was released only 11 days after the death of Jassé. In esoteric mathematics, 11 can be represented as a 5 or 6, a pentagram or hexagram. According to Crowley, 11 is known as the great magical number. Yeah, that was Crowley's favorite number. So we see the blade, phallic fire sword. Such a weird thing to say out loud. Yeah, the blade male phallic fire sword. We got the Seal of Solomon, which is the child balance, divine union, air and earth, Star of David, the chalice, female womb water cup, 11666. Oh, see, this is what I'm saying. When people, this is why you gotta branch out, because that is from a screenshot. You know, XXXTentacion and Teflon Sean, they had their little, the pyramid, the 666 pyramid, in a tweet that I put in one of my old videos. And this is actually interpreting for me. So, very interesting. It just goes to 666. 1 plus 8 equals 9. Right? Very interesting. In Hebrew, Yod is the equivalent numerical equivalent of 10. Yod is the smallest but the foundational letter in the Hebrew alphabet. So we see more sexual symbolism. Right. So we can see that it's all magic with rituals and intent. They're using the power of their, they're using the powers that happen whenever you're having intercourse to mold the universe in their way by involving demons in their involving demons. They're doing spells and stuff while doing this. That's why I always say the magic wand. It's not some little stick. Most of the time, it's gonna be your penis. You know what I'm saying? It is 11 symbolic of the great magical agent, the symbolic of the synthesis or final product of the chemical great work, similar to the concept of Levi's Baphomet. So it's uniting the microcosm And the supreme ritual, therefore, the invocation of the holy garden, angel, or language with the union of God. Was this Ja's true goal, to cross the abyss? X was studying Crowley before his death. So, one thing that I want to say about Aleister Crowley, and like, that really brings into perspective, is that like, Crowley was summoning demons to like actually fight them. And he was like summoning them to like overcome them and overpower them and stuff. That's what it means when like when rappers like Juice WRLD or people like that are saying they're fighting demons. They're literally summoning demons to defeat them, to gain occultic powers, which I think is actually very interesting stuff. So to cross the abyss is to kill ego, I believe, which he shaved his eyebrows, we know that. Shortly before his death, he was telling his fans to study the universal laws of the universe. In his own words, he clearly understood the law of equivalent exchange. In order to get fame and infamy, you must return something in life. Simply a variation of cause and effect. X believes the purpose of human race is evolution, which is very true. Like, he absolutely did this. To the human race is evolution into worshipping yourself, worshipping Lucifer, worshipping these gods, these fallen angels. Actually, the purpose of the human race is evolution. So when you're looking at the law of equivalent exchange, you're looking at the sacrifice of Jocelyn Flores, which gave him a massive boost in popularity just before his album came out, just fast, right? You see like the sacrifice of himself being going on the date 666. And the fact that he was freaking out before his death, like he knew his time was coming, he knew what date he was going to die, he knew how it was going to happen. Very interesting stuff. It just shows that X knew all this stuff, and he put it right to the forefront. So, as you can see last time, we're looking at his ascension. The signs are right in front of us, and all around, 666, Bruno Dickens. Father, all-seeing eye of Lucifer, Son, Holy Spirit. Yep. Osiris and Wolf. Okay, they're just talking about how Jesus and all that. Don't really talk about that. Golden Beetle, all this esoteric knowledge. Boom. Satanic Bible. XXX says Team Satan on his hat. You see. More correctly, create and evolve. You're stagnant, stuck physically, emotionally, energetically, X explained. You're basically enslaved. You can't control your mind. Your mind is the matrix. X understood all is the mind. All of the universe is mental. He truly did understand this stuff. So we're looking at just words are magic. Backmasking is a recording technique which backwards subliminal messages are recording with a piece of music for the purposes of encoding hidden messages. A brief history of backmasking. Satan, the prince of the airwaves, which makes a lot of sense. It is a requirement in Hollywood in the music initiation to be... You can't do that. So my cat was trying to eat a cheesy off the ground. I don't know where he got it from. What are you doing, buddy? Okay, sorry. It is a requirement in Hollywood and the music industry to be an initiated witch. Doja Cat cosplaying as Lucifer and paint the town red. Like, yep. Kind of scary, isn't it? And you know that Doja Cat was actually a friend of X's before her fame. And he was shouting her out, and he was putting her on his albums, and he was saying all sorts of things about her. Like, he was on the original, she was on the original version of his one album that he was releasing. If you look it up, you'll be able to find it. Music is based on the C note in concert, and the A. The inner ear of the human being is built on the C28 Hertz magic 432. See numbers and frequencies there. All interesting stuff that you can understand yourself, but I'm not willing to really look too far into it. X was quoted many times saying that he would not make it past 21. He knew his expiration date was coming. Okay, stop. This cat has got to stop. Stop it. Did X choose to sacrifice himself? He actually said this in his live streams multiple times, that he would sacrifice himself. So we'll watch the video. Hold on.
Yeah, we can. I don't want to, though. I don't do sacrifices. I just do hard work. And if I'm going to sacrifice anything, it's going to be myself. Selfish. I just want you all to my...
The amount of times I've watched that clip in my life is not even funny. But we see, the Hidden America. He put that on his channel. So go check out his channel. Give him a follow. We're going to go back to the thread. So yeah, we see that Ski Mask distanced himself from X at this point, claiming that X tried to sacrifice him. X's mother, Cleo, wasn't an option. Was Drake all a misdirection, a pre-planned distraction? Drake is clearly initiated the Brotherhood. All attention to the energy is good attention. Makes a lot of sense. That's actually a very good explanation. I agree, because I was basically saying the same thing earlier. I feel like me and this guy have a lot of the same opinions. X's death was the ultimate ego sacrifice to kill his old self, his ego, the adversary. This was illustrated in the sad music video. The old X with gold and black hair, symbolizing duality, is killed by the new X with blue hair, symbolizing the new enlightened form of Jose. So what I would also like to say, maybe, is another explanation for this, is X having the gold and having the black hair, obviously representing Baphomet, obviously representing duality. I would like to bring up the possibility of him having an MK Ultra persona, and that, or maybe a demon was inhabiting him during that time, because he was reckless, he was violent during that time, and while he was practicing light magic near the end of his life to, ascend, he was completely different. So maybe he rid himself of all the demonic energies, like that demonic energy itself, because maybe he rid himself of that before or something. He detached himself from the entity that was giving him power, or maybe he was able to beat that alter persona. That's just a possibility I would like to bring up. I don't know if it's true. X learned the lost key. He realized how to control and manipulate energy shown in the video. This video is highly symbolic. Yes, it is. Did X plan his own assassination? Stage suicides are more common in Hollywood and the industry that most are left to believe this is the case, which is very true. But why? I won't fall. I slip not. So we'll take a look at this clip again. We know X is into sex magic. He was doing rituals. He was doing all sorts of things. Yeah.
Internet, X stated the following. It's a witch. Like an actual witch. I had fucked a witch when I was in Oregon. She was telling me the universe loves me. Internet, X stated the following.
Oh, yeah, this is Blue Vanity. So we got Blue Vanity here. X had sex with a witch. Boom. Universe loves him, man. And so, it makes a lot of sense. He's an occultist himself. This is so in the comments below. Same thing I was looking at. Very interesting. All you really gotta do is look at the comments, I guess. See, this guy's really covered most of the bases here, which is amazing. This is like the Twitter thread if you want to know about XXXTENTACION. And so the last part of this installment of Hidden America and the, Baphomet story of XXXTENTACION. Here we go. X believe the sole purpose of the human race is to create and evolve. What is real will prosper? As you can see, interesting thing here I want to bring up. So, to occultists, to people who have esoteric knowledge, the unicorn is going to be a symbol of enlightenment. It's going to be a symbol for the third eye, okay? And so, when we're looking at this, we see him, being X. But the thing on her forehead, like she's an angel, she's enlightened, she's hovering above, is a dildo on her head. So enlightenment through sex magic, through the knowledge of sex magic, right? Through occultic knowledge. Very interesting there, right? Crazy. Creation and evolution. Otherwise, you're stuck physically, emotionally, blah, blah, blah. You're only a slave because your mind is a matrix. X quoted many times. He said, I'm not going to make it past 21. And he said it multiple times in the live streams. The only sacrifice is me, myself, and I. He said, if I'm going to sacrifice anything, it's going to be myself. And then Kanye West's whole song. Selfish. I just want you all. I love that song. Actually, like, watching that, I was actually in that live stream as a fan when he was going on about that stuff. So it's so cool, or it was so cool to see that become a song at the end. X's death was the ultimate sacrifice, killed his old self. Yeah, that's why he shaved his eyebrows, gray hair. X he learned the lost key of masonry, the art of controlling the manipulating energy. The energy is shown in the video when fighting his old self. He doesn't even need to touch him. It's like, but use his own energy force. So this is kind of irrelevant, but if you're looking at like someone who calls himself top G, like Andrew Tate, if they're like have the energy as he's explaining, that means that Andrew Tate would be like a high initiate, wouldn't it? Top G energy, high initiate. I don't know. Did X plan his own ignition? I don't know. Assassination, obviously. Stage suicides are much more common in Hollywood, I believe. X raps in the songs, I will kill myself, but it benefits all my friends. And yes, he did. He killed himself, and it benefited his friends. His friends, they didn't really carry on with it because all of them are like junkies, I guess. They seem like junkies. And all the occultic power died when X died, right? Like the agreement that X made with the demon, where he got all his power and he got all his money, he got his fame, died when X died. So that's why it could only carry on for so long with their success. That's why you don't see any of them really famous anymore. Here we go. I didn't mean to effing hurt you. If I could test my worth, I'd show you heaven on this earth. So if alive or in the dirt, I swear to God, it would be my first priority. Priority before the herb. That mean for better or for worse. Ja, like Mac Miller and so many artists before him, knew their time on earth was limited. Damn, I won't fall. I slip not. Former manager Bruno Dickham says assisted suicide or stage suicide was X's fate. At this point, X wanted to better not only himself but the world. Mac Miller will die on Sim 2018. Okay. Who am I? Someone who's afraid to let go. Who am I? Someone who's afraid to die. I know my time's coming to an end. Suicide. If you ever try to let go. But who knows? I started all the rappers and I cut them off when they tried to touch me sexually. Ja's family hates because you got him killed. This is Bruno Dickham. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's actually his number. Uh-oh. Well, I guess it was posted on the internet before I got to it. But anyway. Ja's family hates him because he got him killed. All your conspiracies are right, bro. Keep trying to stay up late, figure it out. You're on the right path. It's probably going to make you lots of money. If not, it will. Well, Josh set himself up. It's common sense. Assisted suicide is a common thing. The pieces of the puzzle all in front of you. That's why he took out the Louis bag. That's why he had it all in cash. That's why he didn't buy anything like that. You know what I mean? And he sacrificed himself on a certain date. He was in... There's rumors that he was in contact with his killers a few weeks beforehand. It is true. I believe that X did actually kill himself. The whole theory I have is it's in my documentary I did on the Golden Beetle, which is all this stuff combined. So if you guys want to see that, just try to watch that. He was extremely nervous about his future. So I believe that a lot of this too was X's issues that, like, people say Bruno like beat up Geneva and Bruno did all this. I believe it was to get a better hold on Jesse, get a better hold on X, get more control over him during that time. He was going to be impossible to not get convicted. X asked Geneva to drop all the charges, which was witness tampering, and yes, it was. 2 days before his death, on June 16, Zhao was told to turn himself in by his lawyers on the witness tampering charges. X knew these charges called serious time, potentially decades of his young life. Remember, X considered jail a living hell. Yes, he did. He said that in DJ Academics. In his live stream. Living hell, imagine 20-year sentence. Let's break it down. The name, Jose Onfleur, they're 6 letters long. 6 is the number of man, as man was created by God on the 6th day. Drake is the 6th god. Jose is of Jamaican origin, meaning God speaks or God gives. Jah is on the shorthand name of God of Israel. Onfleur is a little more tough to decipher, but the alleged meaning is inspiration of English origin, while the others claim it as giver of peace. X's mom name is Cleopatra, the occult moniker of Isis. Oh, wow. Very interesting. See some occultic imagery there. Only a few days before his demise, X talked to his mother about potentially going on the run. Cleo told X it was an option, he was too known. Cleo kept it a buck and said he can't run, pretty much. He's far too noticeable and well known, identical scar marks, face tats, etc. X knew deep down this was the truth. His options seemed limited. He didn't want to go through the public trial, dragged to the mud when he was literally white hot. At this point, in his mind, he was the biggest artist in the game. He was never going to be hotter. Ja also knew he left a powerful catalog of work for his die-hard fans. Sad was released in March, a highly symbolic video where X kills his old self. The old self who made him famous. He was #1 Billboard artist. He found out Genesis was pregnant. He was overjoyed and terrified. He came up with a magic protected sigil or name for his child, Gekyum, which he defined as a higher state of consciousness. Fair enough, man. Created a sigil for Gekyum. I want to bring up that he possibly created a body. He knew he was going to die. He knew about the sciences of the universe. I've read something about how people believe it takes 3 months for the soul to go into a human body when it's being conceived. I don't know if it's true. I don't believe it's true. As a Christian, I don't get into that stuff. But these people who are occultists do believe this type of thing. They believe the science of the universe. They believe soul transfer. So, very interesting. Jao was becoming more and more unhinged about going to jail. He signed a deal worth $10 million with Empire to do his next album. X wanted to be forever young, so assisted suicide was his only option to become immortalized. Sound crazy, maybe, but is it? X wanted to have his purity, or his legacy kept pure. X already owned at least 3 bikes. Cleo tells X to wait for security, but X rushes without security. This was strange for X. Ja goes to an ATM without security, wearing his well-known Louis Vuitton strap bag, puts 50K into the bag, withdrawing in clear view of people, then quickly goes to the bike shop and walks in for a few minutes, then quickly jumps into his ride in his new BMW, and ultimately Giles gunned down by 3 assailants. How could this be the fall? Could these guys just be the fall guys paid nominal fee to plead guilty and stay silent? Absolutely. That is what I think. Sometimes it was this option seems far too simple to me. X was a fighter. Was he really tapping? I never really thought death was an option. Was death far deeper, more symbolic? This is the balance to the scales. Reject the inertia of the universe. Did X believe comically that debt that he incurred would get where he got sacrificed would be enough to sacrifice himself? Did X pour all of his blood into the cup of Babylon? Did X try to cross the abyss? Did he realize his death served a bigger purpose in the big picture? See, Tribby read, who's his friend? Blaspheming God, all these people. Just a conspiracy theory. For real. And then we got more here. 27th Club. Popular musicians die at that age. We see the Freemasonry sign on Doja Cat. Her birthday cake. The Illuminati stuff is so funny to me. People are going deliberate weird stuff just to make people uncomfortable. Found a new outlet of joy. The Scarlet Tour. Her being a demon in the corner there. Babylon the Great. Whore Babylon. Known as the Scarlet Woman. She's covered in blood. Which is someone who is a vessel for the Scarlet Witch. Or Scarlet Woman, my bad. The role of the Scarlet Woman was to manifest the energies of the Aeon of Horus. Crowley believed that several women in his occupied office of Scarlet Woman. He believed there was several women that occupied the office of Scarlet Woman. So we see her, Doja Cat being bats often represent the sense of letting go of old and bringing in the new. They are symbols of transition, initiation, and new beginning. This is what Jesse was led to believe. In The Boy with the Black Eyes, he raps, the evolution is near, the brains will start to abandon their religions and the belief in themselves, and then the New World Order will start. Alright, look more. Babylon the Great. All this stuff here. If you need to, take a minute to pause. Go look here. Let me look at him with Gekium. Much respect and love to the man, the myth, and the legend, Jesse Anford, better known as XXXTENTACION. I hope these studs help us understand a misunderstood genius. What is real will prosper. You're only enslaved if you can't control your mind. And you know what? Here we go. I want to say thank you to Hidden America for making these great threads and putting his knowledge online. People, you guys gotta give him a follow. Give him a follow on all his platforms. YouTube, there's a link tree right there. Check out his Patreon. There's a lot of knowledge in this guy, and I feel like he deserves a recommendation from me. So yeah, I will do a proper outro. So you guys, thank you so much for, sitting through that with me and reading those with me and bearing with me too, because I ramble a bit. I get sidetracked. I don't know what happens to me. I get these ideas in my head and I just have to get them out for you guys. So that's just part of it, I guess. Part of me getting more comfortable talking over the mic as well. Because, you know, I'm not someone who's out to entertain. I'm not someone who's out to be a YouTuber. I make these videos for you and for knowledge and to archive this information. So to all my followers, I want to say thank you so much for following, and you by sharing my videos, or, you know, just watching them in general, just gives me a lot of, it makes me really happy, you know. So let's just end this video by saying that, you know, if you're not a Christian and you're watching this, just open up a Bible, ask Jesus to help you interpret, ask the Holy Spirit to come into your life, and things will change for you. With that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you for the next one.